It's the HyVee halftime report, and Athletic Director Darlene Bailey is with us, and you've been traveling, as you said, around the state this weekend. You've had a big 24 hours, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah, it's busy, but it's fun. I was down in Springfield last night to see our swim team compete at Missouri State, and that was fun. That's the first opportunity I've had to see them in action, so it was good.
I saw that the Bears won that. I didn't know the Bears could swim so well. I didn't know Bears could do that. And then again, I didn't know Cardinals could either.
The Missouri State Bears can swim, and it was a great opportunity for our students to, obviously Missouri State's Division I, and they have a great program and very successful program. But because of relationships with coaches and whatnot, when Missouri State found out that we were starting our program, they graciously agreed to host us in a meet so that we could get some exposure in Springfield. There were actually some recruits there that we talked to and were able to see us swim, and so all those things are good.
And of course, you've got, you have a relationship with Missouri State, having been there for several years. Good to go back and see folks.
Oh, it was great. Yes, the coach at Missouri State, who just retired back in March, he was still there, and I don't think anything much has changed. He was still on the deck and he was still coaching. But
even though he's retired,
I had a great visit with him, and I showed our team and our coach where my office used to be, which my office at Missouri State actually overlooked the pool. So
that's nice.
I saw that team in action all the time. But no, it was great to see some folks and see some alums and talk to some of our parents of the swimming program and talk to a lot of people.
Well, let's talk about swimming for a minute. The news came out, I think, this week that Maryville here is adding swimming and diving, but is there a chance the Great Lakes Valley Conference might come up with a swim conference deal? Yeah,
we're really pushing hard for that. From our perspective at William Jewell, obviously we are not in a conference right now, and we really want to provide a conference championship opportunity for every single one of our sports. There are several sports in the GLVC that already have swimming and are competing in other conferences, and it just makes sense for us to bring it all together. With Maryville adding their women's program, that will actually give us 5 men's and 5 women's programs, and so I am hopeful that we'll be able to move ahead with the conference championship, probably effective in the 13-14 academic year, because schools that are in other conferences need to give appropriate notice and that kind of thing, which I understand, but I definitely want to move ahead as soon as possible.
Any kind of rule about the number of teams or schools that have to be to form a conference program?
Well, the rule is typically 6, and that's tied to NCAA automatic qualification for championships. And so the rule of 6 really applies mostly to team sports. You need to have 6 teams in a soccer conference, for example, or football conference. But since swimming is an individual sport, I think it's certainly possible that we might be able to go ahead and start a championship with only 5 teams, because there are no national championship ramifications to that.
Okay, I want to change venue or sport here at least, and I'm going to put you on the spot. I had heard about the swimming results. I haven't heard anything from track at Central Missouri yesterday. Do we have any results on that?
I don't know that either. I got up early this morning in Springfield and hit the road and got here just in time for the alumni event, so I have not been on my computer and have not checked anything either. And I apologize. I can't help you out there.
I do also. I don't know either, and I should have looked. But, yeah, I didn't see anything on that either, so we'll wait and talk with Tom Eisenhower when we get back on Monday. Other news from Jewell this week?
Well, we had a great event before the games today. We got in touch with some of our St. Louis connections, our St. Louis alumni, and had an event at a restaurant probably about 2 miles here from this campus. Invited the St. Louis area alumni, invited some of the students that we are actively recruiting in St. Louis area. Katie Power, who is our admission regional representative here in St. Louis, was on hand. She's actually here at the game as well. And so an effort to try to let people know we're in town, come and visit if they want to. We had about 20 folks show up, and it was a great event. I had the opportunity to talk to some folks that I had not met before. A couple of our women's basketball parents were there. So it was a nice little mix of folks, and those are the kinds of things that we're trying to do around our events. As you know, we did an event Monday after the Rockhurst game down on the plaza. That was very well attended. We had about 40 people show up for that. So when we have the opportunity, we're going to keep trying to do these kind of events because it cultivates our alumni, keeps them in touch with what's going on at Jewell, and also some of our greatest recruiters for new students are our alumni. So when we can bring those folks together for one event at the same time, we're going to certainly try to do that every chance we get.
St. Louis is a large metro area, obviously, but it's not just the metro area, it's that surrounding area we draw a lot of kids from.
Absolutely, and you know, some of the folks on our men's and women's basketball teams are not from St. Louis proper, but around the area, so you're absolutely right. This is a great area for us, and over the years, Jewell has drawn a lot of students from this area, and we want to continue to do so.
Wake up, I guess actually by the time we got to the bus on Thursday night, we had found out that the Cardinal women, with their win against Umsel and a couple of losses by Drury and S&T, all of a sudden we're tied for first place in the Western Division. I don't know how close to first we're going to be after today's loss, but what a thrill that was to see us at the top of the Great Lakes Valley Conference standings.
Absolutely. And, you know, going into today, there was nobody that had fewer than 3 losses than we did. And so, you know, we're playing right up there. We're in the thick of things in our conference, and to be that competitive is really, really exciting.
Unfortunately for the men, they have also played very competitively, but like on Thursday night, the 1-point loss there, some other close losses. I mean, goodness, we played those 4 teams on the eastern side, for the most part, very close.
No,
and had not a lot to show for it.
No, and you know, it shows a lot to me. It may not be showing a lot in the wins and loss category, but it shows a lot to me about how our teams have played and how we've competed. And I was listening to you on Thursday night, and that was really a heartbreaker to lose the men's game by 1, but they really have competed well, and people are taking notice. And I think I mentioned this last week, or whenever the last time we were on, at the Rockhurst game. I mentioned, you know, we've been to the NSA convention, other folks in the conference are taking notice, and, you know, I'd really like for us to get a win here in men's basketball. I think it'd be a real confidence booster, but they're playing hard, and we've been in just about every game.
I'm going to ask you, and I won't do it if you don't want to, but you want to talk about football a little bit? I know it's kind of on the other side of the calendar.
No, you know, we're always talking about football. We're always talking about all of our sports, but, you know, this is a really, really important time for football. They've got recruits in again this weekend, and I just read an email from Coach Cruzy about where I'm supposed to be tomorrow and what time. I get involved with football recruiting. I talk to the parents. I talk to the student athletes, and in this particular weekend, I'll meet with all of them tomorrow morning over breakfast. And we got a lot of work to do between now and February 1st, which is signing day, but we had, I think, 12 student athletes in last weekend, 12 this weekend. And then we have a midweek recruiting day Tuesday of this coming week. We'll do another weekend, and I think there's another date in there somewhere. But we really try hard we cast the net wide, but by the time we get to the official visit process, we really want to bring students in who are a good fit for Jewell and who we believe are going to be good football players. And so the numbers are smaller, but our yield on those numbers in the past has been very high. And I think that's a good way to go. I mean, the students aren't brought in mass with 40 other kids. They get the personal attention. I get the opportunity to talk to every set of parents, and so no, it's not very long till signing day, and they're working very hard, but things are going really well.
Okay, let's say I am a recruit, or I'm the parent of a recruit, and you're having breakfast with me. What's the message you're giving?
Well, the message that I can give and feel really great about it is that I'm a Jewell graduate, and all of the wonderful things that I've been able to do as a result of that, and that we're still doing all those great things at Jewell that got me where I am, and doing a lot more. So I start with that, and then I also just talk about the fact that at Jewell you truly can be a student athlete. That, you know, because athletics is such a big part of our campus overall, being nearly 40% of our student body, that there is not anything that happens at Jewell without the student athlete in mind, or how something affects athletics. And parents and students really want to hear that, because even though they may be looking at us initially for their sport, they also know that they want to do other things, or else they wouldn't be looking at a school like Jewell. And so to tell them they can be in the choir, or to tell them they can be a nursing major, or whatever major they want to be, those are the things that I talk about. I let the coaches take care of the X's and O's, but then I also talk about the recruiting process in general, kind of take myself out of my Jewell role and just talk to them overall about the importance of this decision, the most important decision in their life to this point, and how it's really important for them that they feel good about where they go and about fit. And then, of course, I tell them I believe that Jewell is that fit because of the people that we have, our committed coaching staff, our committed staff that's been in place now for 3 years, and that we feel that that's one of the best things we have going for us is the people that are involved in our program and the great student athletes that are part of our program.
Director of Athletics Darlene Bailey is our guest here on the HyVee Halftime Report. The Cardinal men down to Maryville 30-28. Football related again, I know we continue to look at our schedule, but we'll be in the GLVC next year as a football conference, a little bit different from the other parts of the conference. What does that mean to us, and has that football schedule been finalized?
We actually are still looking for one more game, and that obviously is a non-conference game. And I haven't had a chance to talk to Coach Cruzy specifically about this because he's been busy with recruiting, and we've both been gone to our respective conventions. But we want to fill that last home game early in the season as a non-conference game. Our conference schedule is set, which is great. Last year at this time, we were still scrambling to put together an independent schedule. And so that's one thing we haven't had to worry about. We know where we're going. We know who we're playing. And it will be good to be in a conference. We're going to be eligible for postseason competition. We're coming off of our independent schedule where we had some good success against future conference opponents. So I'm feeling pretty good about next year's football schedule. We open with the game out in Colorado School of the Mines, and that's going to be a tremendous opportunity for us to do some of the things we talked about earlier with recruiting prospective students, not just student athletes, but prospective students overall. We feel like Denver's a good area for that, and connecting with alumni where we have a lot of those folks out there, and making it a kind of a win-win situation, and also a great opportunity for our student athletes to see the mountains.
Yeah. Hey, are you going to Chillicothe after this game? Because it's about the only place in the state you haven't seen this weekend.
No, I'll probably head pretty straight home. I've got to get home and get to bed so I can get up and meet all those parents for breakfast in the morning.